Previously on CrimeChat.
In the house. Yeah. It was this distinct man voice that was, I can't even remember what it was. It was like, hello, or are you here, or something like that. The knock. And then 2 nights ago, I had a touch on my neck when I was sleeping. Yeah. Bella would bark at nothing. And I would joke around saying, oh, she's barking at ghosts.
In the seemingly idyllic world of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, who we're going to be discussing today, is Gypsy Rose the cold-blooded mastermind behind the murder of her mother? Or is her story one of a young woman's fight for freedom and justice?
Coming up.
Come here, Teddy.
Do you see him?
No. Oh, I see his tail. That's some Fragga-Neckaboo.
Huh?
So I'm your biggest fan.
Some Fragga-Neckaboo. I am your biggest fan. Testing. 30 minutes in, and we still haven't got to the case.
Yeah.
Some Fragga-Neckaboo.
Here, chatters. I'm Nat.
And I'm Kat, and welcome to the Crime Chat. I am your forensic femme fatale. Natalie is your true crime console.
Yes, we are just 2 normal girls obsessed with dark crimes, evil minds, and occasionally the unknown.
And here's your disclaimer, chatters. The following Crime Chat does contain adult content and will contain violent scenarios, so your listener discretion is advised.
You have been warned, and before we get into today's Crime Chat, we have a big announcement to make. Our 100th episode is coming up next month, and we want to celebrate. We want to celebrate our chatters. We want to celebrate you.
Yes.
In the best way that we know possible, and that is to let's just go live.
Fuck it, we do it live.
No editing. Let's just go live. No makeup, no editing, nothing.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Mark your calendars, chatters. Yeah. July 13th, we are going to celebrate our 100th episode, and we're going to chat about murder and murder. More to come.
Yes. What have you been up to?
So I downloaded the GhostTube SLS app. So they have an SLS, which is like the little frame guy, right? The little green frame guy that kind of identifies figures.
Right.
And then the Vox. So the Vox is the frequency kind of that it picks up on like radio chatter.
Okay.
And I've played around with it a little bit. I haven't really noticed anything else other than the feeling. And that could be up in my head, but like I feel like somebody's there.
Well, somebody could be there. I mean, did the SLS like pick up on these green little men?
No. I mean, it gave false positives in like when I was scanning around like on pictures or like on the TV or on Biscuit, like it picked up, like false things, but nothing that was like inexplicable. It's been fun. I've been playing around with it. The Voxing is just like crazy. I had it going last night. And I was dying laughing. Just and the things that it was saying, like, right. But did you know? But last night, it dawned on me yesterday that the American Horror Story Delicate, the second half of the season with Emma Roberts and Kim Kardashian's in it.
Yeah.
So that came out in April. And I don't know where I was. Oh, I know where I was. I was working. But like that came out and I was like, oh. Where have I been? Okay, let's watch this. So I watched, there's only 4 episodes, I think, that came out. And I watched 2 of them last night. And, oh, so good. So what about you?
Okay, so I have an update from our last episode, Gypsy Rose.
Gasp.
So she is on a season of Love After Lockup.
No way.
Yeah. And you can see her relationship, her marriage with Ryan play out on TV, like legit. Automatically, you can also see why they got divorced. So he did have some control issues. Mm-hmm. So this poor girl.
She said, I've been controlled my whole life. Fuck you.
Yeah. The first night, it creeped me out because when I was watching it, I'm like, okay. So they stopped off at a hotel. Now.
Got it on.
Well, that's the thing. Like, the thing was, you can tell, like, her body language was, I need a minute. I haven't been in a regular bed in 7 years. Like, she's sitting on the bed. She's like, oh, my God. And you could see her
Yeah.
decompressing. Like you could see her like just accepting her situation and being happy. And he was like leering at her in a very weird way and like just touching her weird. And he actually made a very odd joke. She was nervous. She's like, "Oh my God, we're gonna sleep together." She's never slept in the same bed with them, like with the man. Well,
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
so he's like, "What if I snore?" He goes, "I'll buy you a sleep apnea machine like your mother." What the fuck was that? Who says that? I mean, you
Yeah.
could tell immediately. I
Yeah.
think like the cameraman were like, "What?" And people actually did like a side-by-side picture of her with her mother and then her with Ryan, and Ryan looks eerily similar to her mother.
That's
Very weird.
devastating.
Well, you asked me to do an intro on unsolved crimes. Now I know we've done this before, so it could be similar to another intro that we did, but I definitely kind of sprinkled in some other stuff, and I will be quizzing you along the way, Kat. It refers to a criminal investigation that has not been resolved or solved. The term cold case is often used interchangeably with unsolved case, but there are differences between the two.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what? Before we get into that, let me just quiz you on a question that I pulled up here. Are you ready? Are you ready? All right. An estimated value of $200 million and was, and that was back then. So, what was the name of the painting that was stolen? Was it The Storm on the Sea of the Gallet? Was it The Concert? Was it The Girl with the Pearl Earring? Or was it The Scream?
The Stream.
Mm.
That's the one that's like,
Yes, that's Vincent van Gogh.
yeah, that is Van Gogh. That's right. Yeah.
So I have the 5 most famous unsolved cases of all time. First one, of course, Jack the Ripper. Location, London, England. Date, 1888. All right, number 2, the Zodiac Killer.
Yes.
Location, Northern California. The date, 1960s, 1970s, between there. You know what? This is a good time for another quiz. All right. Now, that is my intro on Unsolved.
Not only is the story a chatter request, as I mentioned, but it is also a huge crime chat link to my family's origins in upstate New York, as well as ties to Southwest Florida. It was no surprise. It was no surprise why my auntie and chatter, Gia, requested the story. It's unsolved, it's dark, and it's still a mystery. Spring break, 1985, and a young, beautiful Minnesota college student was vacationing in Captiva Island, Florida. Very close to where you are and where I grew up. Within 6 months, Kristin O'Connell was brutally murdered and found in a cornfield in Ovid Village, New York on August 16th, 1985, by a search party. But her case is still unsolved, not due to the relentless efforts to request DNA testing as advancements of technology have occurred, since that they did recover at the time to try and identify her killer, but by the numerous roadblocks the state of New York have provided.